that picture was found in archives somewhere in some museum or something, and that picture of a harbor with a ship in the background claims to have Amelia Earhart in that picture with a man seated next to her, and they're seated along, the edge of this harbor ground, and you could see an airplane out on a ship, cargo ship, a wrecked airplane. But what happened is, during when that picture was presented, along with my Aunt Nanfina's story, her eyewitness account, that picture was disproven as not being Amelia Earhart, because that photo shows it being taken 2 years before 1937. So what happened was that documentary it did air. The first episode did air because I watched that first episode, but I was waiting for the rest of the episodes, and it never came about. And what happened was, they discovered that picture was taken 2 or 3 years before 1937, which was 1937 was the day that Amelia Earhart's plane vanished. So it clearly showed that picture did not have Amelia Earhart in it. So what happened is, because of that picture discrepancy that came about in 2019, that becomes the most recent publication, and that's what comes up every single time. So what happens is, whenever you Google it or you look it up, that picture, that picture and the discrepancies in regards to that picture claiming it's Amelia Earhart, only for it to be discovered that that's not, that picture was taken 2 years before her plane vanished. What happens is, when that pops up, it kind of makes it seem like even Nanfina's story is not authentic and disproven. So that's what happened is, whenever you Google it now, that picture discrepancy fiasco kind of throws a reflection on Nanfina's story, which also makes her story seem like it's fraudulent. But her story was something that had been recounted, and that picture now becomes a shadow and overshadows those accounts, eyewitness accounts of everyone else. But every single time something comes up to show that it's Amelia Earhart, evidence has been discovered in regards to her plane, it always it's always inaccurate. It's not her. And this still remains those Islander stories, Nanfina's story, those U.S. military personnel's stories from that time period of the 1930s. She lived to the age of 90 some years. She was not senile. As a matter, she died a year or two before she died. Get this, she's in her 90s, 95 or 93. She flew international from California, Northern California, all the way back to the island. And she had never been back to the island for decades. At 90 some years old, she flew international flight of 20 some hours as a 90 some year old woman. She flew back to the island to finally come back to the island again. I believe her. I know her. I believe her account, and I will always believe in it until it is finally disproven. That is our family's legacy. Her story, her account, that's my family's legacy. And I that her story and her legacy, even though it is my family, my grandfather's sister, is something I want to share, and until it is disproven, and so you cannot discount her story or the numerous other locals or the U.S. military personnel. We can't discount their accounts of Amelia Earhart and Fred Noonan until something is finally found in regards to her plane or her remains. And that's the story of my personal story of Amelia Earhart. I'm not looking for anything in regards to it. I just want to share her story because she's no longer with us. And I want to share how that harbor picture taken in Majuro has overshadowed and has tainted her accounts, her eyewitness accounts, and all those other local islanders and U.S. personnel, how that has now tainted their accounts of it. And it's still it can't be disproven because there's just no evidence that has come about disproving their eyewitness accounts. So while we're on the subject, so thank you for listening to that part of that part of my vlog. Let's move on. While we're on the subject of this is what she said, her eyewitness accounts of it. I am wearing this flannel button down. It is in this gorgeous green color. It reminds me of Ralph Lauren. This is such a Ralph Lauren. This gives off such Ralph Lauren vibes. And this is from the men's department at Walmart. And I think this button-down flannel, it is a flannel, was like $10, little less than $10, $9.98. I know shackets are not in, and yeah, shackets, I know they're just totally out of style. But what I do like is, I do like these plaid button downs, especially like these men. But what I do like them in are these extremely fitted, and like, for example, this is an extra small. Normally, years ago, when shackets were in, I would buy flannel from the men's department, the same one, these George, or yeah, I think this is the George brand, but I would get them oversized, like in a large or an extra large. But now my take on these flannels are still the men's, but now I like them extremely fitted, just very form-fitting, and this is an extra small. This is an extra small of the men's flannel, and this would look gorgeous paired with, like, I do have like a fall leather skirt that would look good with this too. But today I'm just sharing this outfit. I'll probably share a variety of looks with this flannel, men's flannel. Probably do another short or a vlog showing how I style this men's plaid or flannel in a variety of ways.